Hi everyone, my name is Sabina. Welcome to Church at Home. We are currently in our series of Daring Faith. We have been learning about how we can be people of unwavering faith in God. So far we've learned about Noah, David, and Joshua, and today we'll be learning about Daniel. In this story, we'll be learning about how Daniel was brave and mighty, even when he was thrown into a lion's den. Today, we'll learn about how we can be mighty and brave too. But first, let's play a game called Bring Me Something. The goal of the game is to bring me the item that I call out, so stand up and get ready. Your parents or guardians can help verify if you've got the right item. Are you ready to play? Bring me a hairbrush. Awesome! Now bring me something blue.
With God's power working in us, God can do much, much more than anything we can ask or imagine. Ephesians 3:20.
Great! Bring me a clear glass cup.
God can do much, much more than anything we can ask or imagine. Ephesians 3:20. With God's power working in us, God can do much.
Now bring me something that roars.
Or imagine. Ephesians 3:20.
Okay, last one. Bring me a shoe.
God can do much, much more than anything we can ask or imagine. Ephesians 3:20. With God's power working in us, God can do much.
Good job, everyone. Now that you're a bit warmed up, let's do a few more stretches together, then worship our God together.
Let's rise up and do some stretches. So first we should stretch our arms like this for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now switch to the other arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's do some lunges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch to the other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now let's run into the spot for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm tired now. Let's go worship God.
When waves roar in front of me, so high that I can't see you, I don't have to be afraid.
When your voice is calling me to deep seas I've never traveled, I don't have to be afraid. I know your promises are true, promises are true. I believe you. Give me faith in everything I do. You light my way. Come on, let's go on a journey. Sailing the ocean of God's great love. Come on, let's go on a journey. Holding on to His promises from above. I'll trust the Lord with all my heart, and He'll direct my path. Come on, let's go on a journey of God's great love. Of God's great love.
When waves roar in front of me, so high that I can't see you, can trust his promises. His great light will guide my way, blessing me with every day.
His love covers my mistakes, sets the path that I should take. Jesus, King of everything, I put my faith in him. Come on, let's go on a journey, sailing the ocean of God's great love. Come on, let's go on a journey, holding on to his promises from above. I'll trust the Lord with all my heart, and he'll direct my path. Come on, let's go on a journey of God's great love. Of God's great love. Of God's great love.
Thank you for singing along. We encourage you to sing these songs throughout your week. They're such great songs to help us remind ourselves of God's goodness. Now we're going to watch our video lesson on the story of Daniel and the lion's den.
Stories of the Bible. Daniel in the lion's den. This is Daniel,
Oh, hey!
who was a Jewish man who was taken to Babylon when he was very young.
Yeah.
Daniel loved God and followed God's rules. He talked to God 3 times a day and asked God for help often. Daniel served in the Babylonian king's court for many years
Yeah, I know him.
and under many kings.
Hey, Daniel.
Daniel always proved himself to be more capable than all the other court officials.
I hear you. Thanks. Well, anytime.
Daniel was serving under King Darius, and because of his great abilities, the king made plans to place him in charge of the entire empire.
Wow, okay.
The other court officials searched for some fault in Daniel, but they couldn't find anything wrong with him. He was faithful, responsible, and completely trustworthy.
Wait.
The court officials realized the only way to get at Daniel would be to challenge his faith.
Come on.
So they went to King Darius
Excuse me, Your Majesty.
and advised him to make a law that for the next 30 days, any person who prays to anyone except King Darius will be thrown into the lion's den.
I like it.
King Darius signed this law, and once a Babylonian king signed a law, it could not be overruled. When Daniel learned of this law, he went home and knelt down, as he always did, to pray in his room with the windows open towards Jerusalem. He prayed 3 times a day, just as he always had done, giving thanks to God and asking for his help. The officials went to Daniel's house and found him praying.
Gotcha.
They went to the king and reminded him of the law.
I remember.
Well,
Then they said that Daniel had been found praying to God 3 times a day.
What?
When the king heard this, he was very upset,
Get over here.
and he spent the whole day trying to think of a way to save Daniel.
wait, what?
By that evening, the court officials came back to the king and reminded him that no law signed by the Babylonian king could be overruled. So at last, the king gave orders for Daniel to be thrown into the lion's den. The king said to him, "May your God, who you serve faithfully, rescue you." Then the lion's den was sealed shut with Daniel inside. The king spent the night fasting and couldn't sleep. Then very early in the morning, the king hurried to the lion's den. He called out,
Hey, Daniel.
"Was your God able to rescue you from the lions?" And Daniel answered, "Long live the king! My God sent his angel to shut the lions' mouths so that they would not hurt me, for I have been found innocent in his sight." The king was overjoyed and ordered that Daniel be taken out of the lion's den. Then the king ordered the men who had schemed against Daniel to be thrown into the lion's den as punishment. Daniel was safe. There was not a scratch on him, for he trusted in God.
There once was a king of Persia named Darius, who chose a Jewish man named Daniel to lead part of his kingdom. Daniel soon proved himself more capable than all the leaders, so the king made plans to place him over the entire kingdom. So the other leaders began searching for some fault in Daniel, but Daniel was faithful, always responsible, and completely trustworthy. So they decided to attack Daniel's faith in God. They went to King Darius and said, "The king should give orders that any person who prays to anyone except to the king will be thrown into the den of lions. And now, your majesty, issue and sign this law so that it cannot be changed." So King Darius signed the law. When Daniel learned of this, he went home and he prayed, just as he had always done, giving thanks to God. Soon the leaders would come and punish Daniel because he had broken the law. But Daniel continued to pray because he knew that God would deliver him from whatever might come.
What a great Bible story! We were able to learn how Daniel was mighty. Daniel was born in Judah, but when he was a kid, he was brought to Babylon as a slave, so he grew up in Babylon his entire life, and now he was an older man. When Daniel was older, he worked for King Darius, and he really liked Daniel. He liked him so much that he put Daniel over a lot of people. He was the king's official. There were some people who weren't happy with that, so they convinced King Darius to create this law that the people of Babylon could only pray to King Darius. But wait a minute! Daniel was a servant of God. Daniel knew that one of the commands God gave was we are only to serve God alone and not to worship anyone else. There was no way Daniel was going to pray to King Darius. So he didn't. Daniel was willing to do what was right, even though everyone else was doing something else. Daniel took initiative. That means he didn't wait around for someone else to do what was right first, but he did what was right first. Daniel knew that God would be with him. Daniel had a mighty faith, and God did protect him. God will do the same thing for you and I. No matter what is happening around you or what other kids are doing, you can take the initiative by doing what is right first. You can also have mighty faith like Daniel, and God will be with you and will bless you for doing it. Do you remember what our memory verse is? Let's sing a song together to help us remember.
With God's power working in us, God can do much, much more than anything we can ask or imagine. Ephesians 3:20. With God's power working in us, God can do much, much more than anything we can ask or imagine. Ephesians 3:20. With God's power working in us, God can do much, much more than anything we can ask or imagine. Ephesians 3:20.
Great job, everyone! We're now reaching the end of our lesson. Here are some questions for you to reflect on. Go grab your journals. Have you ever felt like God was asking you to take the initiative to do something in your life? Initiative means the power of opportunity to make a change.
God can do much, much more than anything we can ask or imagine. Ephesians 3:20. With God's power working in us, God can do.
Have you ever been obedient to God, even when it was difficult for you to do so? What happened?
Or imagine. Ephesians 3:20. With God's power working in us, God can do much, much more than anything we can ask or imagine. Ephesians 3:20.
Just like Daniel, we can choose to have daring faith. What does it mean to have daring faith? Thanks for joining with us. Remember, Jesus loves you so, so much, and so do we. Bye!
More